Hello, everyone. Welcome to this practice. I just returned home from Mexico where I was blessed to teach a yoga retreat to a group of lovely women. And so my heart feels full and so much joy happened there. So much joy. There were some tears and some emotions, of course, as we heal, that happens. But the theme of the retreat was finding joy, letting joy find you, and training to be a joy warrior, which is a whole nother thing I can tell you about. Actually, I'm working on a signature program um, for you or anyone to go into joy warrior training, and it's quite interesting. I've learned so much as I've been researching joy and the impact that joy has. Doesn't mean we live in joy all the time. We learn to live in joy, yet experience pain and suffering. So I want to start with a reading called Let Joy Find You. Somewhere along my journey, it happened, quietly, imperceptibly, almost without my knowing it. I relaxed. I got comfortable with myself. I began to enjoy myself, accepting life, liking myself. I found joy. Somewhere along your journey, it will happen to you. Joy is such a gift. It appears almost imperceptibly, without warning, like a morning sunrise lighting our bedroom while we sleep. And it's almost as predictable. Keep doing the activities that bring healing and growth into your life. Keep loving yourself. Keep walking your path. Continue loving. Don't worry about finding joy, because somewhere along your journey, joy will find you. Let's take a moment and turn inward. I invite you to close your eyes. And we'll start off today with just a very regulating, calming breath. So you can place your hands palm face down on your lap. First, just bring presence to your breath in its natural state. And then begin to inhale to a count of 3. And exhale 1 count. Just let it out. Again, inhale to a count of 3. Exhale 1. 2 more. Now let's just reverse that. Inhale 1, exhale 3. Continue. Inhale 1, exhale 3. One more time. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take a moment to pause, being fully open and receptive to the gifts of the practice, to any sensations or emotions like joy that might arise as you practice. Welcome them all. And lifting your head, release your hands, let your eyes open. We're going to start in a hands and knees position. So if you would please come to your mat and onto all fours. Just that there. And we'll start on all fours. Start to move in a circular pattern. Don't think about it too much. Just set your body free and start churning the energy in the body by moving in a circular way. Reverse your circle. Bring some breath into it, perhaps inhaling at the top of the circle, maybe exhaling at the bottom, or any way you want to be present with your breath. Good. And then come out of the hands, just onto your knees here, And then just take the hands in a figure 8 position. So you're just going to go out and in, very flowy, kind of soft and easy, making little figure 8s in and out and in and out. And upstream, this is having a positive awakening effect on the other joints, the elbows, the shoulder. And we'll come back down. This time we're going to place the heel of the hands as close together as you comfortably can go. They may not touch, but just as close in proximity. Fingers turn out and just see how close can I comfortably get them. Well, it might not be 100% comfortable. Once you're there, fingers are spread wide, start to move in a circular pattern. It's going to be a smaller circle unless you are super flexible in your wrists, which I am not. Reverse the circle a few times in the opposite direction. Good. And then come out of the hands, come up and just flick them. Just flick the hands. Flick, flick, flick. And then shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them. Flick them all the way up. And when you get here, interlace your fingers and turn your palms up and stretch high. I'm adjusting my microphone, sorry. There, I gotta get it situated. That's it. And then open the right arm back, left arm forward, look back. And swoop the arms down and come through and to the other side. Look back. Spread the fingers wide from the heart, emanating energy out through the arms and fingertips like rays of joy you shoot out to others. Circle around, now come down to the ground and come into cat-cow. Inhale, lifting, exhale, rounding. Let's get lost in these two motions for a few more rounds with breath. Oh, feels so good to get the stiffness out, doesn't it? Sometimes we don't even know how much residue of stiffness is in the body. We move slowly as each part starts to awaken. We just notice. Awesome. And then after this last rounded position, we'll stop in neutral spine. And let's take one hand at a time. Turn your right hand backwards. Hold. And then back forward. Turn your left hand backwards and forward. Now we'll just alternate a little quicker. Right hand back and forward. Left hand back and forward. Right hand back, forward, back. Now let's see if we can turn both hands around as far back as you comfortably can go and hold here. Claw the finger pads firmly and circle a bit. Just little baby circles, really warming up through our wrists, up to the forearms. Circle the opposite direction a few times. Little circles. Awesome. And then come up, out. And this time let's shake them again. Just shake, shake, shake the wrists. And then bring the palms to face each other and go like this. Just bring them in. Arms are really like straight, or not straight, but firm. You're just pressing in like there's a big bungee that you're pressing, or a spring, a coil. Good, just keep doing that. Press in. And now go in like a frenetic, just going like this. Some days we feel like this, right? When there's lots of stress in the body and not so much joy, we kind of feel like that. Good, and then relax it out, shake it out. Awesome, let's come into our first down dog. Hips go high and pedal through the legs, as I always like to do, just to check in. Thinking about my feet right now. I'm feeling my toes, the whole bottom surface of my foot. And now let's stop and do the top of the feet. So we'll stop, take the top of the right foot, the toenails and the top of the foot, and just press it into the ground. And then slightly bend that right knee, just a little tiny bend. Stretching the tops of the feet. Let's do the other side. Left foot. And slightly bend the left leg. Excuse me, I was trying to hold that sneeze back, but it was not going to stay down. Sorry. Oh, goodness. Good old spring allergies. Awesome, and let's release and come down. Coming into child's pose, swing your hands all the way back by your feet as you lay your forehead down. Take a couple deep breaths into your low back, mid back, upper back. Just think about your back. Expanding, stretching the skin with your breath. One more. Begin to lift your head. Take both arms out to the right diagonal. Place the fingertips on the ground and then come forward. Up on the fingertips we go. Now really stretch the hips way over to the left, way back towards your left heel. The head comes down, the armpits rise. Reaching long through the spine. And then we'll come up and walk across to the other side. Hands are shoulder width apart. Hips go way over to the right side now as you slowly melt down. Lift the armpits and arm bones upward to help us open more through the shoulder region. Breathe here. And then making your way back to center. Once you arrive in the center position, take your right leg straight off to the side. Let the foot turn slightly out, sole of the foot on the ground, and just shift your hips back and forth a couple times. I'm going to do something different with this right leg in a moment, just a small change. Tuck into your right foot now. Just start to turn it so the toes point out and slide it back just a little. So there's a little bit of bend in your right knee now, and the sole of your foot is on the ground. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. There, my toes are pointing towards you. Then start to bend. I'm going to walk my hands a little bit that direction. Bend over and shift the hips back. So we're bending into it. Nice deep lunge. And back. And bend. Back one more time, bend. This time as you come back, turn your chest to face that leg. I'm just pivoting my bottom leg here. And now I can come out over this straight leg. So flex the foot, elongate through the spine, and let the heart reach towards the toes. And we're going to flex point in with the right foot here. So point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Keep doing that. And now hold, flex it, and rotate the leg out and in. So we're going to go out, ooh, and in, and out, and in. Make it a little joy dance. Out, let your tail wag, and in, and out, and in. One more. Out, and in. Now walk all the way back to where you started and bring that leg in. I'm going to turn directions. We're going to take the left leg straight out, sole of the foot down, toes are facing this way now, and then rock back and forth a few times. Bringing presence to your breath, noticing the sensations that are there. And now we'll change the left foot. We're just going to bend the left knee and pull it in a little so the toes are now facing directly towards me. We'll walk the hands a little over to the left, bend, and come out with the hips. So bend and out. Keep going nice and rhythmic. Notice what's showing up for you. So we're going to hold the next one here. Walk around. Just pivot your back leg, and facing this, we'll stretch the left leg straight now. Flex, point, flex, point. We're stretching the chest way beyond the foot as opposed to rounding over the leg. Just keep going. Flex, point, flex, point. And we'll hold the flex and now rotate the foot and leg in and out. So we're going to go out and in, rotating way up from the ball and socket joint of the hip, out and in, out, in. Little happy dance with your pelvis, shift it over. Awesome. And then we'll come right back around to where we started. And once you're on your hands and knees, let's come to downward facing dog. Easy breath here. You just kind of march it out. Do a little marching dog. Pick up the feet, march it, march it, march it. Awesome. And then lower your knees, both of them, down to the ground. Walk your hands back and interlace your hands behind your back. I like to start with my elbows bent. Gives me more access to my shoulder blades moving. So I'm going to roll the right shoulder back, followed by the left, throat back, and then start to stretch the arms straight, lifting up through the heart. Breathing, my friends, breathing. And then start to move the head randomly. Do the Stevie Wonder. Just move around. I just called to say I love you. Okay, that's all I'm going to sing. You know the rest of the song. And then we'll release and come down, swinging the right foot forward, coming up now here to a lunge, a asana. I want you just to wiggle. Just wiggle it a little bit. Move your hips side to side. Once you get your wiggle on, then take the arms behind you again. Roll the shoulders back, take the throat back, lift the heart, big breath. As you lift up out of it slightly, take both hands over to your right hip. So your fingers are interlaced, you're parking them on the right side here, and then tilt your head to the right. Right ear falling towards right shoulder, opening up the left side of the neck. Bring the head center and release the hands on down. Step back through a down dog. Hips nice and high. Let's take 3 breaths here. Lifting the hips on the inhale, pushing the thighs back and heels downward on the exhale. How high can we get our hips away from our hands? Let's step the left leg on up now. Lower the back knee down. Come upright. Interlace the hands. And again, just open through the chest and shoulders. Let the heart lift. It is the Mecca where joy resides. Hold there. Lifting up and out of it, we'll bend and take both hands over to the left hip and then tilt the head to the left. Left ear towards left shoulder, and breathe into the right side of the neck. We're getting double duty here. Hip opening and shoulder opening, neck opening, I guess triple duty. We'll release head to center, come down. Let's lift the back leg and come into our first forward bend. Holding in forward bend, just release the head. And let's cross the right leg behind the left. We'll call this the curtsy pose. So I'm light on the ball of my back foot, and I'm going to ask you to bend both knees like a little curtsy. As you bend both knees, push your pelvis back a little bit more. Notice what you might feel. And then I want you to keep your legs in this shape. Let the arms fall limp and roll up slowly through your spine. At the very top of this, once you're tall, then straighten your legs. Lift up tall through the spine. And then we'll bend both knees, round the spine, and come down slowly. Just retrace your tracks, touch the ground. And you guessed it, we're going to switch legs. Bring your right foot forward. Bring your left leg back here. I'm on the ball of the left foot. Bend both knees and push your pelvis back for a moment. Let the arms drape and dangle as you roll up through the spine. Take your time, coming up slowly to a fully tall position. And then legs are straight at the top. Start to bend your knees and roll through the spine. Whew, I about fell over there. I need to open my eyes when I'm doing this. Good save, Marsha. You almost did a head dart. Come all the way down. And now let's uncross your curtsy legs. Feet are straight ahead and swing the arms forward as you rise. Come all the way up. Hands to heart center. Let's pause for a couple breaths right here. Noticing what you feel. Good. Release your arms down to your sides. We're going to swing the arms. So I want you to swing the right arm back. And like we did earlier, bring them down. And as you swing, turn directions. And then down, swing. You see my knees are slightly bending when the arms come down. Bend them a little. And then when the arms are extended, straighten your legs. See if we can get that more rhythmic. So we bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Go a little faster now. Two more. And bring both arms up. Stretch high and arch back. And then hands through the heart as you fold forward all the way down. Bring the right leg back into lunge position. Establish your balance and then lift your torso up and just bring your hands out like you're holding a platter. So you're holding right here, elbows bent. Do the figure 8 position we did early on. So you're going to turn the palms in and down, up and out, go back and forth. Little figure 8s. These different hand movements correspond to different parts of our nervous system, right? So this would be more, we're in the flow. Things are calm and smooth and steady. Good. And now touch down. Hold here for a moment and then step to plank pose. Hold in plank, pushing the floor solidly away. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Firm your bottom. Lift the back of the head so it's not falling. Keep everything in one solid, straight, strong line as you lower down. And then inhale, lifting to a cobra as you awaken the spine more deeply. And on an exhale, lower down. Push back to child's pose, pausing for 2 breaths. When you're ready, pull yourself up into downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Stepping right foot up, lower the back, no, don't lower the back knee, keep it lifted, and then come upright. Hold that platter again, lifting up through the spine, back leg straight, and now go in and out, and in and out, nice and fluid. Legs are solid and steady, but up above we get to flow. And now touch down, step forward. Inhale, swing the arms, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go back to swinging the arms to the right. So we open, straighten the legs here. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Both arms up, reach high, arch back. Hands across the heart as you come down, forward fold. Take a moment here to feel your feet pressing down. And then let's step the right leg back and hold here. We're going to turn the back heel inward, hold, and try to straighten the front leg. Bend the front leg, come up onto the ball of the back foot, and then twist left arm up. Repeating that, come down, turn the back foot out, or drop the heel in, I should say. Straighten the front leg as much as you can, push the floor away, and then bend the front leg. Come onto the ball of the back foot into lunge again. Left arm comes up. Awesome, touchdown. We'll step forward with right foot, exchange it, left foot back, and do that same sequence. So drop the heel in, slowly straighten the front leg, breathe. Bending the front leg, back to deep lunge, adjust your back foot, and twist right arm up. Bring it down. Back heel drops in, straighten the front leg. Bend it, lift the heel up, and twist to the right. Good, touchdown. We'll step back to downward dog. Then we'll do a couple wave runners here, which originates with the tailbone. So let's start by bending the knees, lift the seat high. Start by drawing the tail under now. Let it sequentially move up through the spine, articulating through the spine to plank pose. We hold, then bend the knees right here, glide back and up into down dog. Tuck the tail under. Take your time rolling through the spine. Hold for a moment in plank, and then bend the knees, glide back and up. Once again, tuck the tail, rolling through, hold in plank, and then bend the knees back to downward facing dog. Let's lower the knees down to the mat. Take the right leg straight out to the side as we did previously, and then keep the right hand on the ground here. I'm going to take the left hand behind our head lightly, and then twist and open to the left. Just try to lift the elbow. And now, eye of the needle, you're going to, or thread the needle, sorry, you're going to take the left arm through, come down to the left side of your head and shoulder, and pause here. The top arm, this right arm, you can keep it here with the fingers on the ground for stability. You could stretch it over your head, or you could take it behind your back. Just breathe as you hold this funky little twist. And then release. Make your way up and out of that. We'll switch sides. So right leg comes in, left leg goes out. And keep the left hand on the ground, right hand behind the head. Push into the ground to help you open. And just try your best to lift the elbow. You might feel like it's not going anywhere, but it's the attempt that's beneficial. And you get such joy when you get to come out of these challenging postures. We'll come down, thread through with the right arm. Let the right side of the head come down, right shoulder, and pause inside of your breath now. And then lifting back up, we make our way, legs beside each other. Take your hands forward. Now we did the curtsy before in a standing position. Now we're going to do it in down dog. So lift the hips up. We'll move the left foot to the middle position and cross the right leg behind. So the right leg is behind, left leg is forward. Let's bend both knees and extend the hips up. Shoot the hips way up. Your knees are bent. I like to squeeze my shin bones into each other here too. They're pressing together firmly. And then round, do that wave runner where you tuck your tail under, round forward to a crisscross leg position here in a plank. I have to adjust my feet back just a little bit there. And then bend the knees and come back into that crisscross dog. Let's switch sides. Take your right foot in front. Bend the knees, hips go high in the sky. Shins are squeezing together. And then feel your tail start to draw under. That's the first part. As you come forward, the top foot might lift off the floor a little bit, almost has to. And then come back into a bent knee down dog and uncross the legs. We'll come knees to the ground. Sweep the hands back by your feet as you lay your forehead lightly on the floor, child's pose. Let your shoulders just really release towards the mat, releasing any tension through the upper back. On the retreat, we talked a lot about finding joy and ritualizing joy. How do we keep joy present in our lives, even when we might be in the quicksand of stress and life challenges? How can we learn to look for the beauty and the awe and the wonder and the miracles, tiny miracles around us? It's a practice. And we lift on up now, bring the hands forward. Let's take the feet, curls, toes under and lift on up. And take a slow walk with your hands right on back to meet up with your feet. Hello, feet. We'll roll up through the spine. Let your arms dangle like an orangutan. And up we are to this upright position. I'm going to walk on forward. I haven't done any wide-legged postures yet. We need to get into the inner realm of the hips and seam of the hip. Take your legs nice and wide. And let's come into goddess pose. So I'm going to turn my feet slightly out. Make sure you're not too wide here. And then bring your arms into cactus position. So we're going to slowly bend down. And as you're bending, just try to widen your knees out and back, even out and back. So come as low as you feel comfortable. And then squeeze the legs straight, reaching, and touch. And then again, down, nice and deep. And straighten, reach and touch. And down, nice and deep. And straighten. One more time, we're going to hold it down here. Let's make this more exciting here and go little side to side, tiny movements. Still doing our best to widen our knees, drawing them back towards the wall behind you. Holding. Little slides back and forth. Shoulders nice and tall right above the hips. We'll hold steady for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You got this. 2. One more thing. Lift the right heel. Boom. And down. Lift the left heel. Boom. And down. Keep alternating. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Are your legs singing yet? Look at my hands. They're going open and close. I don't know why. Just felt like doing that. Lift, lower, lift. One more each side. Lift and lift. Straighten on up. Hallelujah. And release your arms down. Whew. Turn your feet forward. And let's hinge right here at the hip joint. Come down, touch down, and release your head. Take a couple deep breaths and soften your face. Start to put a tiny bend in your knees and push your pelvis back a little further. Pelvis back. And then once your pelvis is back, straighten your legs again. Slowly. And now bring your feet in. Like I always like to do, it's good for our hip. Bring your toes in, then your heels in, and your toes in, and your heels in. Stop right here with feet straight, and then hands to hips. Up go the shoulders and up comes your body. Coming back to the front of the mat, I'm going to do a little series now with down dog, wild thing. Let's have some fun. Inhale, sweep the arms on up. Exhale, forward fold. Down we go. Stepping back to downward dog or roo. And let the hips go side to side like a little happy dog. Little joy-filled dog. Stopping in the middle, let's float the left leg up first. Left leg up, wherever your little leg wants to go. Lift it on up and make it powerfully long. Meanwhile, lift your shoulders forward towards your wrists, towards your fingertips. Lower left leg. Inhale, lift right leg. Exhale, lengthen it up there. Push it longer. And lower it on down. Knees touch down to the ground. Hands come back, come upright. Swing back and look back. Down and around. Down and around. Down and around. Two more. Down and look back. Down and look back. Hands down. Now this time we add wild dog. Lift the hips on up. Shoulders shrug forward towards the fingertips. Keep that stable. Left leg, we're going to lift it up and just bend the knee and explore up here for a moment. Just kind of move the knee, the hip around a little. See what's showing up in that region, in this position on this day. And then keep it up knee high as you open to wild dog. Look under your left arm. Keep reaching back actively with your left foot. Oh yeah, pull it back center and lower the leg down. If you need to take a break between sides, please do so. Otherwise, right leg lifts, bend it, start to explore a little bit, moving around randomly. And then when you're ready, find wild dog. Look under the right armpit, reach back, smile big. Oh, can you feel that deep stretch deep in front of your body? Come back to center, lower down. Let's come out, back to the knees. Come into child's pose, restful arms here, hands by the feet. Forehead comes down and shoulders completely soften and relax. Deep breath. All right, my friends, the next dog has wild dog for a brief moment, and then we go into wild thing. You might, if you're not remembering what wild thing is, you might watch the first one and then rewind and do it again with me. But I'll do my best to talk you through. I think you'll remember. Down dog. Let's create strong, stable pillars for arms. So take your shoulders forward. Keep that action. I'm going to lift the left leg up. What happens to the arms? Keep lifting them. Bend the left leg and now open for a brief moment here. Now this is where we're going to take that top leg and just let it come right on down behind you. Pick up your left hand and here you are. The hips will drop down for a moment and then lift up into wild thing. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Lean back, arch back. I like to bend my top arm. That way I can get my shoulder blade on my back more. And then you can come out of it any way you want, or try a fancy way where you just lift the knee and swing it forward into a deep lunge. How about that? That was interesting. And then step back into down dog. Good job. Let's do the other side. Lift the right leg on up, bend it. Draw your ribs up into your body. Keep your shoulders forward and then start to open. Drip it down to the ground. Hips are going to drop first and then bring them on up. Bring them on up and start to draw the shoulder blades on the back as you lean back. Lean back with your head. Lean back. Make it a back bend. Open, breathe. And then come out any way you want, where you can lift the knee on up and swoop it through. Dun, dun, dun. And then step back, downward dog. Crazy fun. Lower your knees down. Sweep the hands back. You guessed it, our beloved child's pose. Feel your heart rate. Good job. Whatever you did, whatever variation you made up, I love it. I love that you just showed up to practice with me today. Let's start to lift the torso on up and make a transition onto our back side here, onto our bum. I'd love for you to bring the soles of your feet together and then just rock side to side on one butt cheek and then the other. Easy rocking. And we'll add a nice sweet twist here. We'll take the left leg out a little bit and cross the right leg under you. The right leg under, and then this leg can stay center like this, or if it feels right to cross it over, go for that. You'll squeeze the front leg towards your chest with your right arm, and then left hand behind you, twisting slowly, gradually to your left. The inhale is there to remind us to rise higher. The exhale is there to invite us to explore a bit deeper if that feels right, without too much effort. Find a comfortable place that just feels good. And then turning back to center. We're not going to move the bottom leg at all. We're just going to take the top leg and bring it straight out to the side. Well, we could move this leg back a little. Now, if your knee is really high or if your low back feels rounded or tight, sit up on the edge of a blanket for this one. Just put it right under, just the edge of a blanket under your bottom. And then we'll reach out for the foot. You can also put a belt here if you'd like. We'll take the top arm up and reach over. Just breathing there. Perhaps bend the elbow up here and pull up, and then turn and twist up. I have a good hold on my foot out here, or you could again hold a belt. Remember, you have the power to pause me at any time and get what you need. My husband wishes that he had a magic button where he could just pause me when he wants, but he can't. Yeah. Unless he's watching a video, then he gets great pleasure. Good, come all the way up. Let's switch the twist now. So the left leg's gonna fold under, the right leg's gonna come on top, get situated here. You're gonna feel this right buttock lift and hover. Try to drop it down close to the ground, maybe touching if you can. And then twist to your right this time. Squeeze the front leg towards your chest. But just as much as you squeeze that leg in, also push that front leg into your arm. So there's a two-way current happening there. And then drop the right butt cheek down more. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we explore. Subtle new territory. I like to close my eyes on these, but you can do whatever you want. Stay in tune with your breath. Coming back to center. We'll take the top leg now and simply open it out. Again, adjust this front leg out a bit and sit up on the edge of a blanket if you feel like this knee is really high. If you're like this, then you need to lift your pelvis. Okay. We'll turn the belly a little bit and reach out. Grab your belt if you need it. And then top arm, we're going to focus on that. We're going to lift it up and over. Keep your pelvis heavy, especially in your left side, butt down. And then bend the top elbow. It's like you're pulling a string here. You're pulling up with your elbow and looking up. Oh, goodness. And we rise, we come out. Oh me, oh my. Bring the leg in. I'm going to switch around here so that I can extend my left leg out. have you do your left leg out, cross your right leg over, giving some more love to the hip. We'll take our hands behind us and bring the left foot back and lift up the heart. And then maybe a little rock side to side. Yeah, so it's important for us to look for ways to feed our joy, feed the joy that we have, and starve our stress. You don't have to play into the drama and keep feeding stress. Hello, Cash. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is in your world. He's been sleeping. You know, that's what cats do. Now he's coming in to just show you how to do Shavasana, which he is a professional Shavasana. Let's switch sides. Oh, we can learn so much from our pets. Look at that tummy of his. Oh, let's switch legs. Right leg out, left leg over. Many of you have been with me since he was a kitten. He's a big boy now. We're going to lift on up and turn, or what do we call this? Wag the hips side to side. Yeah. Easy hips. Those of you that have pets, there's such a benefit to these little dudes around. It doesn't matter what kind of pet it is. There's actually research that talks about how we can co-regulate with our pets. It helps us decrease our stress. We can sync up if they're nice and calm, we can sync up with their calmness. Yeah, especially the purr of a cat. I know I'm just a little biased. All right, how's your hip doing? Are you still feeling it? Let's go ahead and release the legs and bring them both straight out in front of you. Bring your legs straight out, flex your feet, and then just imagine there's a string attached here to your sternum, and someone's pulling that, and you're just reaching out with your heart over your feet, little by little by little. You don't have to get too deep. If you feel something in the back of your legs, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's just take a deep breath there. And exhale. Just soften into any tension you might be feeling. Keep the heart moving towards the feet. Good to reach out and touch the feet if you want. Put a belt on them. And then one more breath right where you're at. And slowly make your way on up. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips facing backwards, and then just open up through the chest. Big lift through the heart. Joy is our birthright. Joy is sacred. Joy is contagious. Joy is actually a form of resilience. Learned a lot about that. And joy can bring strength to our brain. So many benefits. But it's a practice to keep joy in the forefront as much as possible. Let's release back down onto our backs and arch the back. So we're going to press the low back into the ground, just doing pelvic tilts here, and then arch the low back. Do that a couple more times. Just gently press it down. You don't have to overdo it. And then arch the low back. And release it to the ground. Arch it away from the ground. One more time. Arch it away, and let's maintain that subtle arch. Then let the feet come together, soles of the feet. Let the legs open into butterfly. Put the hands on the low belly. And just like we started, let's breathe in 3 counts and exhale 1. And then reverse it. Let's breathe in 1, exhale 3. And let the breath return to normal, natural state. And then bring the knees together. Slide your left leg out, followed by your right. Stretch your arms over your head. Feel a big arch in your low back. There's space under it. Now, some of that will diminish as you bring your arms to your side, but try not to completely collapse there. So arms come to your sides. Try to keep a little lift under your low back. And your thighs are heavy. And then let the eyes close. Excuse me. The eyes close. And let's count backwards from 10 down to 1 silently. When you get to 1, let's take 3 breaths. Watch the inhale, watch the exhale. 3 generous breaths. Any tempo you want. And then let's just let everything be. We're not worrying about the breath. We're not worried about fixing anything. We're just marinating in the moment. Receiving any sounds, receiving any sensations, and welcoming any thoughts. Resting in a state of being. And simply observing if there's any tension in the body, maybe wiggle that region or send a breath to that region to see if it might evaporate. Easy, natural breath is occurring. And you're just allowing yourself to be in this moment. Easy, relaxed, simply resting. And start to bring attention to your feet and just wiggle your toes. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then wiggle your fingers. And let's bend one leg, place that foot on the floor, followed by the second one. Keeping your feet on the ground, take your arms more out in a T position, and then just gently let the legs fall a couple inches side to side. So it's like a fourth of a twist here. Feet are on the ground and just going side to side with your legs, massaging the low back. And then we'll take the hands, reach down towards the knees and pick the feet up and put the kneecaps right in the hands. Draw them a little closer to your chest and rock side to side there. And then rolling off to your right side as you're ready. Give a little press with your hands and coming on up to a seat. And once you're in your seat, sit well and close your eyes. And once the eyes are closed, just take a moment to go to that place of feeling. How do you feel? And enjoy the reverberations of your practice. I hope it brought you a spark of joy, reconnected you to that joy that is your birthright. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. If you should suddenly and unexpectedly experience joy, give into it. Words of Mary Oliver. Bowing to the light in each of you. Namaste. Gratitude to you, my friend, for practicing with me today. I hope you're doing well, and I look forward to sharing the next practice with you. So don't forget to leave me a comment below. What did you like? What did you not like? What's going on in your world? Just anything. I love to hear from you all. And I did send out a survey recently. I hope you received it in the email. Just love any feedback that you can give me to make this Lotus Library even better for you. So I'm here to serve you. It's helpful for me to know, what do you need? What do you want more of? So if you can take time, there are 5 little questions in that survey, and it was sent out on March 14th if you need to look back into your emails. So have a great day, and I'll hopefully see you soon in some capacity. Cash says goodbye too. Look, he's waving with his top foot there. He's very flexible. He's a yoga cat. Take care, everyone.